Howdy, and welcome to LeeReads, where I talk about the books I've been reading and enjoying lately. This is my May reading wrap-up, and if you hear cat shenanigans around, it's because they all want to play right now at my feet in this moment. I'm still in somewhat of a rereading era, but I did read 2 new releases that I'm excited to talk to you about. The first is Steel Gods. I don't have my physical copy yet because I received an advanced digital copy from the publisher. However, Steel Gods is book 2 following Grave Empire by Richard Swan, which is in the Great Silence trilogy that follows several hundred years after the Empire of the Wolf trilogy. I'm not going to spoil anything for book 2. A brief setup of Grave Empire is the Sovan Empire, who our characters are serving in that original trilogy. It's been several hundred years. The impacts of events that happened then have really shaped the empire that we're looking at now, and they're on a cusp of war, and there's this strange, possibly magically infused plague spreading across the land. Our main characters are a junior diplomat and a young soldier who has been sent to the frontier. So he's not even in the heartland of the empire now. He is witnessing events occurring on the fringes. It's also following a character who's very invested and interested in understanding what this plague is and how it could be potentially used to serve their own goals. In typical Richard Swan fashion, there is very interesting magic system and a lot of politics, and as we were learning more and more, it is leaning more into the horror, just like that other trilogy did. It's almost like at my limit of what horror darkness I'm really willing to spend my free time living in, but I'm enjoying the characters. The plot was very fast-paced, moving. The characters are trying to figure things out or trying to stay one step ahead of these other characters. And where we left off at the end of the second book has me really invested in finding out what's going to happen to wrap all of these events up. If you enjoy Richard Swan, I would recommend picking up this book. And if you haven't checked him out and you like political, very well fleshed out fantasy worlds, but that also have fairly strong horror elements, this might be right up your alley. The next book that I really enjoyed is This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me by Alona Andrews, which is a pen name for a married couple that write together. They write a lot of fantasy, and sometimes they'll write fantasy romance. This is solidly fantasy with a romantic subplot, and it's one of the tropes that has been published somewhat frequently recently, but I haven't read the other books, which is when a portal fantasy where a character from our modern world knows about a fantasy work and then gets sent into that story. So the setup for this one is this is her favorite series. It's only book 2 out of the 3 books have been published. So the main character Maggie has read those first 2 over and over and over again. The vibe you get from how we're experiencing the world and how the character is telling us about the places she winds up in and the characters that she's meeting is it feels like one of those very epic worlds like Game of Thrones, where you are visiting many point of view characters and really getting into their heads. There's a lot of politics and war, etc. So Maggie wakes up one morning, finds herself in a scene that she recognizes, and her actions end up affecting things. She quickly realizes that she can't be killed, although she can experience the pain and has the memory of these events. She can't be killed, and in order to survive in this place, she's going to have to play her cards right. It's almost like she is an oracle if she can spin it right. She knows information about people that she shouldn't know, and she may be able to put herself in a position to help avert these tragedies that unfold through the storyline and not only impact her favorite characters that she enjoys reading about, but, the citizens of this city. So I thought that this was excellently done. I haven't read some of the other books with similar tropes that have come out recently. For a portal fantasy where the main character is being inserted into a fantasy series that they know and love very well, I would reach for this one. The characters are amusing, the world building is good, and I'm enjoying the kind of romantic subplot that's being set up in here, but it is not overtaking the events in the main plot of the story. Maggie still has to stay focused on surviving, but the plots that she's laying and trying to get away with it all. As she starts affecting things may start to happen that she can't predict because the future is different now, but also she's drawing the attention of very dangerous, powerful people that don't want her to stop their plans. So very highly recommended. I'm looking forward to the next in this series. I also reread the majority of the books in the Ravenel series by Lisa Kleypas, which I have been highly, highly enjoying on audiobook. The narrator, Mary Jane Wells, I believe is her name, she does an excellent job. She's now one of my new favorite narrators, the way that she can really bring the emotion and the personalities of these characters to life. I've been having a good time. I just finished reading that series, and I might reread the Hathaways next, or maybe try out a new author. But since I've been in the depths again of revising and editing my current fantasy work, I haven't been reading as much fantasy, and especially in audiobook form, it's nice to read something totally different. I'll just briefly mention a couple things that I'm hoping to pick up later this month. I'm not sure that I'll be able to get to everything because it depends on when I finally finish my revision, when I'll really start reading more. But I have a library book, The Signet and the Firebird, because I want to keep reading Patricia McPhillip after reading The Alphabet of Thorn. The Everlasting, which I have wanted to read since December, I think is when it came out, and it's sort of my treat for when I finish doing this revision. I'll read this book. I had started it and then decided to wait. The Unicorn Hunters by Catherine Arden. I love Catherine Arden, and I did receive an advanced digital copy of this that I'm about halfway through. Good so far. And I'd like to continue my Sun Eater series reading. I am currently working on The Lesser Devil, which is the novella that takes place between book 1 and 2. My dad actually got hooked on this series, and so he would buy the next book and read it. Now I have all of the books through book 6, which is that the last one or is there a 7th book? And the next novella. I think I should call it there. The cats are doing shenanigans out in the other room, so I need to go check on them. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, don't forget to support your local library. Thanks. Bye.